chicken. They knew I was coming. They knew I was coming. Try to capture as much of the show as we can for folks who have never been here before. It's my first time coming. 39 premium.
I bought 2 sets.
I have a 34 premium of Ruth. The one with the gold border around it. It's bigger than this.
Wow.
And only the Joe is slab.
But the other ones are gorgeous. Like, look at those cards.
Nice.
Like, that is crazy.
Cronin is a Hall of Famer.
There's tons
Dickey,
of
Hall of Famer.
Greenberg's in there.
Feller.
Alright.
Jimmy Fox. Somebody just walked in with it yesterday?
It's from another dealer.
Oh.
Like, that's probably one of the biggest reasons I set up at the show is to be able to buy.
Keep going. I mean, that is part of it, right? I mean, the deal flow that comes in, buying, you never know what's gonna walk in, right?
Well, not only from the people, but from the dealers.
You ever see this?
Wow.
It's just a weird one. It doesn't come up too often.
Yeah.
She said, I'm gonna stop buying every Ruth that I can. You know, just put my money in Ruth. So I got a bunch of Ruth stuff.
How incredible is that?
I mean, it's a gorgeous card. I just tried to have a Wilt graded, a little short. And it was in a PSA slab, 8 off center.
Yeah.
In the PSA
you tried
slab.
to regrade it?
I brought it over to SGC. I said, what would it be here? Because they don't do qualifiers. It's a little shorter. And now look at this. So you go from vintage baseball, which is like the bread and butter of the hobby, and move over a foot this way, and boom, shiny Pokemon. Remember the exhibits, Andrew, that you were talking about in PWCC? Here's a roof.
2,500, right?
Yeah.
The mantle's at 96 bucks.
That's a sick card. Look at that Ted Williams. That's such a nice copy.
This is what I brought to the show.
Nice. This is what I brought to the show. Chick-fil-A. $50 championship rings. Look at these.
It's waking up. Good
What's up, handsome? Cage. What's up, brother? How you doing?
How's it going? I'm Jeff Fouts. We've never met. Yeah, it's me.
Oh, man, how are you?
Been following you for years now.
Appreciate that. What are you gonna sell today? That? I don't know. There was a comp on Thursday at 144. What are you gonna take for it? Like 130? 120? 170? All right, I like it.
Speak up.
I might go with the 9. In Virginia, what are people looking for here?
Off the wall stuff is selling. Stuff that I didn't even think I was going to put
Like
out.
what? What was a weird one yesterday?
90 Tops Frank Thomas. Like a PSA 7 sold for like 45 bucks.
Really?
Wow.
With the name on it?
Yeah, it had the name. Of course,
the name.
If it didn't have the name, I would have kept
It
it.
didn't have the name. I got my kids at home with the racers.
Oh, yeah.
With Frank Thomas. Who's your favorite? I'm guessing LaMelo. Yeah? LaMelo Ball? Him and Ja. Ja had a big game last night. I like Ja. I think stick with Ja. Ja's got much bigger ceiling than LaMelo, although LaMelo doesn't have much of a team around him this year, so he might put up some numbers too.
Nice to meet you, Andrew.
Nice to meet you, Jeff.
Little dude says $500,000 for the whole case if he wanted, Andrew.
Okay.
Yeah, there's some room there too.
The wiggle room. But not too much. He gets a percent.
Nice to meet you. I'm Jody.
How many hats you have? I got to get a hat. I need to get one. How much?
It's yours.
Awesome, thank
First
you.
person to ask for a hat gets a hat. I love it.
Well, I saw them online. I meant to send you guys a message and forgot, so yeah.
The back's a little iffy.
I would say they're accurate. Sometimes on these really valuable cards, PSA knows how much they're worth. So to go from a 6, 7, 8 to a 9 is a big jump with them.
You got any helmets signed by someone who's signing here that you're selling cheaper than what they're charging to sign? Probably, right?
Yeah, but we don't. Just because.
I understand.
mean, you know what I mean? But we do a lot of times, like, what we end up doing, like every show we're here, is we'll get a football player today, and they're not here tomorrow.
Right.
And somebody come inside, we'll sell
I missed it.
at cost, you know what I mean? So,
That's smart. Look at these old bobbleheads. Oh my God. Tickets. I like looking at stuff like this because it shows that there's been collecting being done before the pandemic. I know a lot of stuff got in, but look at all this crazy stuff. Joe Namath would butter up your popcorn if you like. How you doing?
How are you?
We saw this guy already. He's got a tiger on his hood, you know, to support Lucas Tigers, so I love that. What's the card you're moving that you know you're moving?
Yesterday. I sold
Ja. Any Ja. 49 points, Ja.
That's
Ja
true.
moves.
He should be moving today. But Maxey, Anthony Edwards yesterday, and Jordan Poole.
Poole's moving?
I was probably happy I sold it. But
This is the official backstage.
That's it. Backstage. I'm sure there's some athletes here now.
That's solid.
So
That's solid. That's
less
a
than 100
conversation.
of those. We could talk to Joe about
That's
that
a
one.
conversation.
But Charles Woodson didn't have 12 All-Pro selections. Only one player did it, a defensive back. You know who it was?
Yeah.
This guy right here.
Well, he's one of my favorites. Woodson. Just because I kind of modeled myself after him to some degree, right? We both tried to do everything in high school and college, so, you know, Mr. Do-It-All.
We do podcasts of sports cars, memorabilia. What do you think when you see this stuff? Is this like, you know, you walk in, you see all these helmets, you see all this stuff?
Big business.
Big business. Big business.
That's it.
That's
I mean,
it.
the funny thing is you don't realize it until you're on the other side. Like, you know, when I was playing, I didn't really care. But now I'm reflecting, I'm still involved. This is a big business. And when somebody pays you to do something, you can imagine what they're selling it for. So it's like...
That was my only question for you. So, like, I mean, we've met 50 people here this morning.
Okay.
30 of them were like, Champ's the nicest guy. He's in early.
Yeah.
He signs for everybody.
Champ will sit down and talk to you.
Everybody sings your praises. You're a fit guy, very well spoken. What do you want to do after? Be a GM?
But why I gotta be football related? Why I gotta take myself back out there? Like, that's a lifestyle. That's not the lifestyle. I want flexibility, love being home. You know, I love being kind of call my own shots, but once you go and get in these atmospheres with football, it's so tedious. I don't want that lifestyle. I mean, I played football since I was 8, never missed a year. And now, 35, I finally get to take it off. I don't think I want to go back into that atmosphere completely.
You got traded to Clip Portis.
Right.
That might have been the blockbuster deal.
Yeah.
That was like when fantasy football just started.
Yeah.
How'd you find out about that? How'd you take that?
Well, I was heavily involved in the process because I was a designated franchise player. So in order for the trade to go through, I had to sign the tag.
And you guys need to remember, this guy was the best of the best quarterbacks. You were the lockdown quarterback.
Right. I've been to 4 straight Pro Bowls. I was going into the prime of my career, so it was timing. Okay, I was about to turn the corner. It was just unfortunate that Washington didn't want to re-sign me what I deserved. And, you know, once you get out there in the open market, things can happen, and I kind of got a little taste of that because I was able to negotiate with other teams.
Thank you very much, Sham.
Hey, good luck you guys too, man.
Great to meet you.
I appreciate it, bro.
With Mahomes, Allen, all these guys, throw. The team that switches it up on defense, running back, and limits the possessions they have. Those are the teams that can beat it. The team that goes back to the way it was played in the late 90s, where you can throw if you need to, but if you control the clock, you play good defense, and you limit. Don't just give them the ball and let them score. They're going to score most of the time. You keep it close, you have a chance to beat them. That's my theory, but I don't see anybody willing to do it. Everybody else is trying to have an arms race.
I want to know your no, most people say it, but you can't morph into that overnight, though. That's the problem.
It's true.
If you're a passing team, you can say all you want to, let's go run. If that's not what you do, you're not going to be efficient in doing it, and it's going to show. And so then you're going to go into a game saying we're going to try to beat the Chiefs with something that we're not strong in.
Correct. Yeah.
We don't run the ball, but just try to fool them and doing it. Now the Titans, they can do that.
20 years. If baseball doesn't change something, they're going to be out of business.
He said baseball's going to die in 20 years.
Out of business is dying.
That's what he said.
You know what? I think the changes that we're making are good, right?
So you're putting your CEO of baseball tomorrow.
Yeah, I like kind of some of the things we're doing. BOF thing did some nice things. This thing, the shift, I think is going to be good. It frustrates me because we shouldn't have had to do this.
We had a card store in '86. America's favorite card store, it was called.
Okay.
Opened my store with 7 1952 Mickey Mantles, 100 Tom Seaver rookies, 100 Peru rookies.
Wow.
Best store on the West Coast. Had the biggest shows on the West Coast, and used the card shows and cards to meet athletes.
Yep.
And from that, I ended up representing a few guys: Sandy Koufax, Joe Namath, Jim Brown, John Riggins, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Muhammad Ali for 20 years, and a few others. And I represent Clayton Kershaw from the Dodgers. I wanted to be a broadcaster. I wasn't good. I wanted to be a ball player. I wasn't good. So I started writing, and I was pretty good at journalism, and took journalism in college. But then the baseball card business got huge in the 80s, so I was traveling cross country to shows. Everyone talks about, well, in the 1980s they made too many cards until the market dropped. Well, the reality is they made a lot less cards in the 1980s than they're making now. So everyone's comparing this to then, but the the reality of it is that if I had a ball player 20 years ago that had to deal with a card company and he had to sign 1,000 cards, it was 3 different cards, 333 of each. Now he has to sign 1,000 cards. Each card is an individual card. He's still signing 1,000 cards. So the companies got very smart with perception of what they're buying. But to be honest with you, I think it's all bullshit. When Bill Mascaro talks about, what was the downfall? The downfall is I was greedy and it was ego. Okay? Well, the downfall was that I bought $100,000 of cards from him that were trimmed. That's the downfall.
Yep.
So, we've all rewritten history in this business. This business is hobby business. For 40 years, it's reinvented itself. So I was brokering deals like Alan Rosen. I did millions of dollars in deals for Alan Rosen. I did a $250,000 deal, a brokerage deal. He gave me $5,000. And, honestly, at 14 years old, $5,000 is like, my dad was making 20 grand a year. I make $5,000.
I like all my fans, but Eagles fans feel different, a little more passionate. Less margin for error.
Who's the best athlete on that Eagles team? Shady, Deshaun, and you. What'd you say? And you can change your answer.
Athlete, Deshaun was an amazing athlete.
He was the fastest?
Deshaun was the fastest, yeah. If you're talking about speed, the fastest, that's Deshaun hands down. You're talking about athleticism. We all can be in the same time.
Strength?
Shady was a running back. He probably was the strongest. I heard D-Jack can jump. I never balled with him. I think we balled one time. He said he could dunk. I played the ball to run 2 at 6 feet. I would say athleticism probably me.
There you go.
Straight line speed.
I wouldn't expect him to ever say anybody but him.
That's why you get to that level.
You've been generous with your time. Come see Mike Vick at the Philly show December 3rd.
December 3rd, man. Got to be there.
We're going to have to come.
Yep.
Thanks, Mike.
Awesome. For sure.